right?
I'd say Islam. Islam's so scary. I had a nightmare that I had to fight him. I woke up and I was like, oh, God, thank God that was real, because I would knock that out.
Oh, shit.
No,
you said it here first.
No, I actually woke up and I was like, I thought I was going to walk out and fight Islam.
You mean just because the way he can just grab onto you and just...
He's so well-rounded, just skilled. But I'd say Islam's probably like that next.
He's a former lightweight champion and once the pound-for-pound king of the UFC. A terrifying grappling specialist with shockingly complete skill set. He's dangerous on the mat and just as deadly on the feet. But what do Islam Makhachev's fellow fighters really think about his constantly evolving game? Let's take a closer look as his legendary fighters explain how scary Islam Makhachev really is. Point one man who knows far more than most is the former two-division world champion Daniel Cormier, a longtime friend and training partner of Islam and the Dagestani team.
Moments where we're in practice and I'm going with Khabib or Islam and I'm the big guy. So generally, a smaller guy gets on top of you. When you decide it's over, you just throw him off you. Yep. No technique, no skills. You just literally grab him and you kind of throw him off you. I'm grappling with Islam once and I try to throw him off of me, but he's still there. And so I give him a little harder shove and he's still there. Next thing you know, I'm grappling at 100% because the dude's that strong. But again, I had never really grappled with him in that way, like at a decent pace. So I didn't recognize the strength when he was trying to keep me down.
It was funny hearing a wrestler as decorated and experienced as DC described the overwhelming strength of a man who weighs 50 or 60 pounds less than him. That's serious praise, especially coming from someone who spent his later years battling heavyweights. Cormier has always believed in Islam, particularly when it comes to him being the rightful successor to Khabib. So when DC says he was genuinely stunned by Islam's strength and technique the first time they wrestled, you're inclined to trust his word. But out of everyone featured in this video, Khabib Nurmagomedov is undeniably the one who understands Makhachev on the deepest level.
Islam was my father's favorite student. He was like very favorite student. I know I'm his son, and when I watch all students, Islam was his favorite student. And he always tell me, you're 3 years older than me. When you become champion, when you become a little bit full, your fire, your hungry a little bit go down, Islam gonna come up. I was like, what are you talking about? But right now, look, I was champion. I defend my title 3 times. I finish. Islam right now is like 10 win streak in UFC. One of the biggest win streak in UFC history. And I really believe he's gonna become champion. Why I talk about Islam? Because this is my father's legacy. And I really want he become champion. You guys gonna see me like a lot next couple years. I'm not gonna let you guys miss me, you know. I told you, Islam gonna take him to the deep ocean and make him tough. People have to understand, Islam is very good. I told you, Islam on another level. Doesn't matter who. I love this guy. We grew up together. He was my father's favorite student. A couple hours ago, you guys was talking about Charles gonna finish this guy. It was Charles Oliveira time. All world was talking about him. Now Islam make him easy. Now you guys gonna forget about Charles Oliveira. Doesn't matter who. We just want to fight with the best because Islam is the best.
Hearing Khabib talk about his father's affection for Islam as a student is truly touching. Abdominap possessed a rare gift for recognizing and nurturing talent, and he clearly saw something in the young Makhachev that could be molded into an elite fighter. Though he never got to witness Islam rise all the way to the top, it's obvious that he knew it was only a matter of time before Islam followed Khabib's path. Dustin Poirier pushed Islam far more than most people expected, taking the lightweight champion deep into the championship rounds. But how does Poirier compare Islam's grappling style to Khabib?
Different. Pressures similar. Takedowns are a little different. He does a lot of upper body stuff. He kept trying to clinch up with me. Khabib would shoot lower shots. I think Khabib was stronger, physically stronger. Islam's squeeze was incredible. That torque he got in that Darce choke, and it was like a vice, it was like a vice grip. Like I knew he was tough. I knew he was going to be strong. I knew he had grit. You don't get in the position he's in by not having all of those things. You have to have everything.
And that takedown leading into the final sequence, I mean, that was pretty high level stuff, right?
Yeah. And I saw people saying like, oh, Dustin, I've never even seen that before. I've seen it. Trust me, I've been doing this a long time. I've seen it before. I just didn't think it was about to happen right there.
Did you feel like he was getting tired?
We were both fatigued just from fighting hard, but I don't think he was anywhere close to. He could have done another 5 minutes, no doubt. Both of us, our punches are going to be a little slower. Our legs are a little tired, but neither one of us was tired. We could have kept going.
Man, honestly, similar to Khabib, his movement is really strange. The timing of it is really strange to get his cadence. I wanted to open up more and throw more volume, but when he would commit to the pocket, he would exit weird. His dips with his head, I heard my corner telling me throw the knee the whole time, but I just felt like I might get taken down off of it. And his movement is it's kind of awkward. It's a weird timing, so I couldn't get good combinations going. But Poirier should be proud. He managed to turn the fight into a gritty, messy battle, exactly the kind of contest that favored him more than Islam. But when the pressure peaked, it was Makhachev who created the opening he needed to secure the finish. Over the years, Islam has developed into a truly elite finisher, and Poirier felt that evolution in the final round. Now, we look toward insight from Islam's next opponent, Jack Della Maddalena, the reigning welterweight champion, ahead of their fascinating showdown at UFC 322 in Madison Square Garden.
I think Islam Makhachev is a better version of Bilal. I even think it's the strike on the feet, I think it's easier than Bilal because he'll stay in one stance. He's more traditional style. But yeah, he's the pound for pound number one. So it's a tough fight, but guess we'll just watch all his fights again, make a solid game plan, and then just start working at it. From pretty much now, I'm going to start working on ways to beat him, different ways to get back to my feet, stuff in the takedown, but I'm pretty confident I can get this one.
Can Islam deal with a size jump from lightweight to welterweight? Can he absorb the punching power of a striker like JDM? And how much additional power will Islam gain himself after moving to 170? When it comes to taking short-notice opponents, Tom Aspinall has nothing but praise for Islam's willingness to take risks. Not many fighters are comfortable with sudden switches like that.
Islam. But, yeah, Islam did what he was supposed to do. Went out there, fought whoever was put in front of him, which is what a champion's supposed to do. Fought the guy that the UFC told him to fight, and he got the win. And he's levels above anybody else in that division. He's going to hold the belt for a long, long time, and that is something that I'm very excited for because I'm a massive Islam.
Who would have guessed Tom Aspinall was such a hardcore Makhachev fan? But hey, greatness recognizes greatness. People forget that despite being an early finisher with boxing-heavy highlights, Aspinall's foundation isn't boxing at all. It's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe someday he'll deliver a performance similar to Makhachev's dominant style. And of course, if you enjoy this content, make sure to like the video and leave a comment. He might have shared one of MMA's most intense rivalries with Khabib, but Tony Ferguson has a surprising amount of respect for Makhachev's pedigree.
Somebody was telling me, who do you think's a better wrestler? Was it Makhachev or was it Khabib? And I think Makhachev is a better grappler, honestly. I think he's a little bit faster. I think with Khabib, I think he's just a little bit more, not timid of the freestyle that Makhachev presents, but I think Makhachev, he's not going to do so bad at 170. I think he'll be all right.
Whether Tony is genuinely praising Islam or just throwing indirect jabs at Khabib, he's as entertaining and unpredictable as ever. We never got the legendary Khabib versus Ferguson matchup, but many people viewed Islam versus Charles Oliveira as a kind of spiritual substitute. IT wasn't competitive in the end, but who knows? Maybe Khabib versus Tony would have gone the same way. That chapter will forever remain a mystery. When you have a GOAT candidate like Georges St-Pierre celebrating your abilities, you know you're doing something extraordinary.
Makhachev, can he fill the shoes of a Georges St-Pierre one day? He's amazing. I think right now he's the best pound for pound right now. His last few performances, just amazing. An amazing showcase of heart too, because he had a bad cut on his forehead and Poirier gave him a tough time. I think that fight gonna make Makhachev even better because these are the fight that make you grow. In terms of skill, Makhachev right now is the best fighter, but that doesn't mean if you're the best that you always win.
Michael Chandler has enough experience to recognize greatness when he sees it. And even though he never shared the octagon with Islam, Chandler is adamant that Makhachev belongs among the elite. Like many others, he was skeptical early on, and understandably so, because it took Islam a long time to break into the top tier. But once he finally arrived, the talent was undeniable. Chandler isn't shy about admitting when he misjudged a fighter. And he's certainly not the only one who believes Makhachev stands above today's lightweight division. Or, at this point, we should say former lightweight division. And even though he'll never fight Makhachev due to the size gap, that hasn't stopped former bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley from imagining what that nightmare matchup would look like.
The best lightweight in the world, by far, with his performances. And I have no problem saying that. His hands are getting better. He just outstruck Poirier. He can outgrapple anybody. And I think he truly is doing it for more. He's got something deeper that he's fighting for. He's fighting for an entire village, an entire portion of the country, an entire religion, and an entire legacy for himself and also Khabib and Khabib's father.
Underrated. His timing is sharp. His kickboxing is precise. And he's a black belt level threat in every area of MMA that's funny. But also refreshing to see a pro fighter speak so honestly about his own limits. If Merab Dvalishvili can overpower O'Malley twice the way he did, imagine what someone like Islam could do. Luckily for Sugar, even if he eventually moves a featherweight, Islam won't be anywhere near that weight class again. So the former Banana King can rest easy. Those nightmares will remain purely hypothetical. And finally, let's hear from iconic commentator Joe Rogan, who's been watching Makhachev since his UFC debut. Rogan says, Islam Makhachev is simply different. He head-kicked Alexander Volkanovski in their rematch. He submitted Dustin Poirier. He crushes everyone once he gets them to the ground. And with the insane depth of the 155-pound division, Rogan believes Islam is dominating the most dangerous talent pool in the sport. Joe has seen generations of great fighters rise and fall. Like all of us, watching a wrestler head kick one of the greatest strikers of all time in the first round was a moment that changed everything. That's when it became undeniable. Islam Makhachev is evolving into one of the most complete fighters in MMA history. So what do you think of Islam's skills and career so far? And where will he stand in the GOAT debate once it's all said and done?